that I was originally going to get into, which is, so you do have dual citizenship. You have Jordanian citizenship. I'm trying to see here. You wrote here. Actually, one other quick thing here is, you say you're a Muslim. My dear, I've looked at your Instagram. The photos that you post on your Instagram are not particularly becoming of a woman who claims to be a practicing Muslim.
I can practice in private what I do in public. I mean, that's how I was raised, and a lot of things caused me to go that route in life. But
Okay.
I still try to do what I can to practice at home a little bit, or just say thank God for food or whatever I have. I always
Can I ask you a question?
tend
If
to
somebody
mention
was, if somebody told you they were vegetarian,
My brother's a vegetarian.
right, but then you'd frequently see them consuming meat, but they continued claiming to be vegetarian, would you might not have a problem with anybody eating meat, but would it be confusing to you why somebody who claims to be vegan or vegetarian eats meat?
I mean, I'm sure you're not a practicing Catholic or Christian either, but at the end of the day, we all practice how we practice on our own. We all have our own ways of practicing. I know it could be confusing if someone was eating pork claiming to be a Muslim, but
Well,
I mean, I know my hair is not covered and stuff, but I still practice to the best of my knowledge. I mean,
right.
I don't fully practice a religion, but I do what I can.
Right. I mean, I guess the thing is, though, is like my own position, whether I'm atheist or agnostic or Christian or Muslim, would be kind of irrelevant in this case because for example, I eat meat. If other people eat meat, I'm totally fine with that. But when somebody tells me, by the way, I'm a vegetarian or I'm vegan, then I am in a position to be confused if I witness them eating meat, because that is completely in contradiction to your position, to your worldview, and to your own categorization and label as a vegan or vegetarian. In this case, Islam contains pretty explicit and detailed religious requirements as it relates to modesty.
They have five pillars in Islam. To be a Muslim, one thing you have to do is pray every day.
Okay,
I mean,
the other pillars I'm not really particularly interested in, but there's Islamic scripture, the Quran, there's hadiths that do have direct and prescriptive guidance about modest dress for
it
women.
does guide you in the right path. I grew up with a hijab on my entire life. I grew up covering my hair my whole life till I was 18. I even took pics on the phone and brought it just in case you wanted to see. But I did grow up. Like
sure.
that.
I'm not going to dispute that perhaps when you were younger you did all these things, but I mean, and honestly,
18.
your hair out, whatever. Right now, I don't care. But my big thing is your Instagram is like pretty out there. You know, just. Yeah.
Well, right now I do what I can just to
titties out.
Yeah.
Here's my ass. And look, I don't really care.
I do post a lot of stuff.
You know? But it's
I know you don't care, but I mean, that's just what I have to do right now to get by. So I'll do it.
You have to post thirst traps on. Okay, well, that doesn't. By the way, I'm saving this for later, but you deny the OnlyFans. There's another, perhaps even more damning component to this, but here, I'm going to bring it back to the thing. So you say that you are a proud Palestinian and Native American.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a question for the whole panel now. I'm going to open it up. How do I want to best frame this? Let's do, okay. I want to be really specific with the framing here. So, and I know some of you are, whatever, different heritages, ethnicities, whatever. In a morally neutral, blame-free, hypothetical conflict between the U.S. and, I know everybody here was born in the U.S., correct? Okay. So between the U.S. and the the country of either your parents' origin. So this could be Jordan, it could be Palestine. I think some of you have Mexican heritage. So if your parents are from Mexico, so a hypothetical conflict between the U.S. and your I don't know, what would be the right framing? The
Ally.
Well, here, I'll just, and by the way, so it's a morally neutral, blame-free hypothetical conflict between the United States and, say, Palestine or Jordan or Mexico.
There is a conflict.
We'll get to that in a moment. But this is a hypothetical one where neither side is right or wrong. To which country is your allegiance?
If neither side was right or wrong and both could be good or both could be bad, then I would stand with the country that I was born in, the United States.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think this would apply to you. What about you?
I would say,
The U.S. and Mexico goes to war.
right. That's actually.
To which country is your allegiance?
I'm gonna be honest, like homeland, like Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Mexico.
I'm half Mexican. My dad is from Mexico, but he's not an immigrant. So
I guess we could still ask the question to you. Where would your allegiance be?
probably here.
The U.S. Okay.
Yeah.
What about you?
U.S.
U.S.
100% the U.S.
And then Morocco or China for you? Or
Morocco.
It would be the U.S.
okay.
It would be the U.S.
Gotcha. So just you, just you. Okay. Gotcha. And then just curious, why is that?
I was raised to just love my culture. I
Okay.
felt like I was raised a lot on a rancho, you know, like I was raised,
Here in California?
yeah,
Okay.
in the Inland Empire. Yeah, I just love my culture so much, like everything about my people, the food, the love, everything.
What do you think? Like your parents? Your parents are citizens. Mm-hmm. Like they.
Yeah, my dad's from South Central and my mom's from Long Beach.
But your dad, he immigrated here.
My great-grandmother did.
Okay, so they're second generation. So you're third gen.
I'm not specifically sure on my grandparents, but I know they got citizenship. So it just depends on my grandparents. But I think they immigrated here for sure. Yeah, they weren't born here. And
Your
then
parents or grandparents?
grandparents, and then they ended up getting
Grandparents.
citizenship.
Okay, let's do this. Your
Yeah.
grandparents and your parents. Wait, your grandparents do live here though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
If the United States went to war with Mexico, what do you think? I know they're not here, but what do you think, or who do you think they would side with? The United States or Mexico? Where's their allegiance?
That's hard. I would say Mexico. Yeah. Yeah.
So like, would they, if there was some like war that broke out, do you think they would like go back to Mexico? Hypothetical, it's totally hypothetical. Would they go back to Mexico and like, well, I guess they're not young, so they're not going to like go fight in a war, I suppose, but they would stay here
Yeah.
during the war. Okay. But you also would side with Mexico, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. And just one point of clarification.
Yeah.
In terms of allegiance, right? Like, your grandparents, did they get their citizenship? And then
yeah.
I'm assuming your parents, they were born here,
Yes.
so they obviously have their citizenship. I think when this question is, like in terms of allegiance to a country, I don't think this means that you need to like
Culture
give up.
background.
Well, I don't think it means you have to like give up cultural identity.
Okay.
You don't have to like abandon your heritage. You don't have to reject family ties. Like if you have family that's still in Mexico, you don't have to be like, fuck them. No. You don't have to stop emotional attachment. But I think when it relates to war, I don't know if you're the citizen of the United States, and at least with you and at least with your parents, they're not. My understanding is they're not citizens of Mexico, or maybe they are.
I'm not too sure about their citizenship in Mexico, but I know for
But
sure.
you're not a Mexican citizen.
No, I never got my citizenship.
You don't have citizenship there. Okay. But if war to break out, you would side with the place you don't have citizenship with?
I think it's like a different perspective when you say war, because that's like, I don't even agree with war, but I guess in that perspective, I would say I love America, like, SoCal, Southern California is where I'm born and raised. I love the culture here. I love the people too. But predominantly it's like Mexicans and stuff. So I'm just used to my culture. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you have to completely abandon and like reject your heritage or culture.
Yeah.
But it's more so just about allegiance.
Allegiance.
Yeah.
May I ask kind of like a specific question?
Sure.
So when we're talking about war, I feel like war is pretty vague. And I think our decision to who we are going to like stand with and ultimately, like consider them and take their side is maybe like how the war started or what one side is saying to the other, how they're behaving. And kind of for an example, when these protests were happening, when Trump was getting elected, all these protests, I would say most people actually did side with Mexico. So,
well, I mean,
from what we've seen, from what we've seen.
Well, I mean, I'm not really going to speak on that, but in terms of the original hypothetical, it would be, at least the way I framed it, it's completely neutral.
Oh, okay.
Neither country's the aggressor. Neither has done anything unethical. There's no moral dimension to it. The question is strictly about, in this value neutral scenario, which nation would you stand with as a matter of allegiance alone? So I don't know if that changes anything, but even then, do you still, as a matter of allegiance alone, do you still side with Mexico?
Yes. In today's generation, yes, I do.
What do you mean today's generation? Why does that influence your decision?
I think just the chain of events that's going on, it takes a big toll on my mentality with like where I feel like I fall under.
Okay. But I mean, I understand that, currently there are circumstances that you might feel are unjust as it relates to like the Trump administration's immigration policy. But like specifically with the hypothetical, assume all ethical factors are removed, right? No one's at fault. Let's assume there's not like war crimes going on either side. Both nations are acting honorably as far as you can. So in this completely neutral situation, still Mexico?
Still Mexico.
Still Mexico.
Mexico.
Okay. All right. That's interesting. Any reason why? Just curious. Like any further reason why, I guess?
I just love my homeland. Like, I visited when I was little and I have a lot of love for the country.
How about this?
Yeah.
Let's say it's no longer neutral. And it's actually Mexico that is the aggressor. And Mexico is the one that is invading the United States. Of course, we're going to have to grant in this hypothetical scenario that Mexico has a robust and competent enough military to do so. Under this circumstance, does that change anything?
Yeah, of course it would. Yeah.
So do you side with the U.S. or?
If it was affecting living situations, like, like if like you said, they're taking over land and being aggressive and stuff.
They want to do a reconquista. They want to take back territory in Texas, New Mexico, and California. Maybe I don't know if they previously had territory in whatever. They want to retake their territory.
Yeah. I would say then I would definitely side with the U.S. now.
But it would be Mexican nationalism to retake the territory that the big bad United States took from them through conquest many, many years ago.
Yeah, I think it'd be more fair for sure for them to take back,
But you side with Mexico?
In that situation.
In a war of aggression on the side of Mexico.
No, I just would want, I guess, what it is now. Yeah, so
but
no.
Think about if Mexico took over California. hey, we're not going to deport anybody. Everybody, all the people who I guess are illegal immigrants, hey, you guys are going to stay. You're now part of Mexico. It's Mexico now. The official language becomes Spanish. You wouldn't want that.
I would want that.
You
Yeah.
would want that.
Yeah,
It's
I would.
already taken over.
It's kinda like
mostly
that
by
already.
Mexicans here.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
literally fully like the lady that did my hair was Mexican today.
Twice as many Mexican restaurants.
So many here. It's a lot. This is a cool city though. Like I've never been to Santa Barbara. Like it's really nice.
Hold on, totally.
The
relevant,
weather is
but okay.
nice and
It is nice here.
I'm just saying
It's
I've
nicer
never
than
I've
New
never
Orleans.
been and
It's nicer
nice.
than New Orleans.
Nothing's nicer, but it is nice.
Now, question for you though: if with this hypothetical where Mexico retook its territory from the United States, and let's say it took over the entirety of California and New Mexico and I guess Texas, why not? How would you feel? Would you be okay if this new territory, well, it's part of the Mexican state, Mexican country, the country of Mexico, if it deported people who don't have Mexican heritage? Like me, I live in California, I'm very white and pale, and they're like, you know what, look, we can't have these white people living in California and Texas, New Mexico. If you can't speak Spanish, you gotta go. Maybe they'll get, if you're a white guy and you can speak Spanish, they'll let you stay, right? But if you don't, what do you think about that? Would you be okay if they're just like, you know what, we can't have these people
No,
in our country. We should deport these white people.
I don't think even race should be involved, to be honest. But yeah.
Okay. All right. All right.
be
I
fair
think
for
that's kind of.
everybody.
Oh, and then I believe your answer. You very much identify as being Palestinian. In the event that the United States went to war,
In both, they are in war.
what, Jordanian, American, Palestinian. In the event that the United States went to war with Palestine and it was a morally neutral conflict, to which country does your allegiance lie?
If it was a morally neutral conflict,
Yes.
then I would lie in the United States where I was born and where I have a citizenship.
I see. Okay.
If it was morally like everything was
Sure.
peaceful and
Right. And
they were
just to be
wrong.
clear, like, I don't think it's a lacking of allegiance if the United States is involved in a war that you disagree with. But I think allegiance can be somewhat, well, hold on, let me reframe this. I think allegiance can be different. Your allegiance should still be to the nation, but you can disagree with like political
yeah,
policy.
I mean, I disagree
Vietnam
with the
War, for
genocide currently. Like, I don't know why anyone would agree with a genocide killing hundreds and millions of kids and people. That would be like the British coming to New Orleans, where I grew up, with alligators and like skinning animals and everything. It would be like British coming there and kicking us out suddenly and saying we were here years ago. I think that would be quite similar to like, what they're doing today. They go to Palestine, have a war, and then call ceasefire every
Message
time
from the
they get
government of
a
Canada.
part of land.
Hasty George donated $200.04. So many female panelists, past and current, do not realize that giving allegiance to the country they live in does not mean disowning or denouncing family traditions, practices, or beliefs. Poop fart.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Insane.
Yeah, and like, there's a specific thing where, at least the clip that went viral. So basically, I'll just give the background. Last episode, we had this girl who, she was born in Colombia. She was a
Yeah, I
Colombian
watched
citizen.
it. She was sitting right here. You were
Yeah.
like, would you shank someone? And
That's not related.
I remember that. She was sitting here and she didn't talk much.
Yeah,
But
she was kind of quiet. So, anyways,
yeah.
but she was born in Colombia and she'd been living in the United States for 10 years. She became a naturalized American citizen. And when I asked her this question, she said that her allegiance would be to Colombia. And I think it's a bit different when, if we're talking about people who are like born here, where citizenship is basically automatic, versus somebody who immigrated here and they went through the citizenship process, naturalization process. you have to actually, you don't have to do this if you're a citizen, but she had to go through a process, and she had to actually, before she could become a citizen, she had to take an oath of allegiance.
Yeah,
And
you
in
pulled
this
it up.
oath- Yeah, I pulled it up, and
Yeah.
in the oath, it basically says, I renounce any allegiance to like a foreign government or country,
Yeah.
et cetera, et cetera. And she said, yeah, well, she did the oath, but I guess the people were upset by this because, it's one thing if you're already a citizen here, there's really not like a mechanism where you can do anything, or you didn't technically take an oath if you're born here as a citizen. But if you've actively left your home country
Yeah.
to move here, and you've been living here for 10 years, and you took an actual oath to become a citizen, you're basically in breach of your oath. You're an oath breaker. And so, yeah.
Yeah, they make you swear of all the amendments and everything. And so, yeah, I mean, I agree, but that's mainly with the immigrants.
Nick, can you pull up the Discord? And that's pretty much the gist of it. Just the Discord, and then we'll just click on the photos. So Elon Musk saw it on X because it was going viral. So just click the first photo. American citizenship is an oath. You're going to have to move me. American citizenship is an oath to America. If anyone breaks their oath, they should lose citizenship immediately. Okay, and then the next one. Oh, wait, did I post? Hold on. Click it again. There. Violation of the oath of citizenship should result in deportation. Yeah. So, just saying.